Hey everyone, it's Alan Schimmel. We're back here at the Conrad in Orlando. This is a beautiful, I think the hotel's less than 2 years old. It's gorgeous. And it's the scene for the Imagine conference from Automation Anywhere. And it's been a great conference, 2 days full of what we now call agentic process automation. It's really, to me, this is the coming out party where RPA has become APA. And we've been talking about it all day. We're going to continue talking about it here with it's actually a customer of Automation Anywhere. He's also been a key speaker at the event. But more than that, he's somewhat of an expert in this new field of agentic AI. Let me introduce you. I hope I didn't put too much pressure on him. Let me introduce you to Rahul Patet.
That's correct. That's me.
Rahul is with a company called Alight.
Yep.
We got that right. All right.
Alight,
we're doing great.
Alight.com, www.alight.com.
There you go.
All right.
So Rahul, what do you do at Alight?
So at Alight, so first, before I introduce myself, let me introduce Alight to you all.
Great.
So Alight, at Alight, we help more than 35 million people to help access and manage their health, wealth, and well-being benefits. Mm-hmm. And we do this across thousands of clients, right? Including 70% of the Fortune 100 companies are our clients.
Wow.
Okay? So think it's a huge scale, right? And we have to do a lot, right? To help to ensure that these 35 million people get the right set of benefits for them. Okay.
That's mission critical stuff right there.
Yeah.
For a lot of these people, that's life and death kind of situations.
Yeah, and health and wealth are the two key ingredients, right? And then the well-being. All these three things, we take care of that. Me, I joined Alight around 3 years back, and I lead the Automation Center of Excellence for that, right?
They have an automation center.
Yes.
They had it 3 years ago too?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I joined Alight, at that time, there were 3 different platforms Alight had, right? Including Automation Anywhere. And we, at that time, 3 years back, we were only focusing on automating back office tasks, right? Which are all rule-based, deterministic, those kinds of things. And
that's what was possible then.
Exactly, right? That's what, and you're so right? That was the only thing which was possible. And there were no AI and other things were just being started, right? So that's what they were there. And we had 300 bots and more than a 100 plus team, right? Maintaining these bots. So I took over a large, complex and expensive portfolio. And that's where I decided to see, hey, is there a way I can optimize that? And that's where I consolidated my entire automation platforms to a single one and moved to Automation Anywhere.
So you went from 3, let's call them
three different RPA platforms to a single RPA.
To a single one.
Or an automation. Yeah. Automation.
Excellent. Let me ask you, why'd you settle on Automation Anywhere? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, definitely. So we evaluated multiple things, right? So we evaluated technology, we evaluated pricing, and we evaluated customer relationship, right? So what stood out, right? And actually all 3 stood out. But the best thing which stood out was the customer relationship, right? They were, and not that time, but today itself, right? Till now, right? Even when we say, hey, we need this, they are there right away, right? And then we are not a backlog for them, right? We are not any other company. They are giving us the importance they need to from day 0 to till date, right? They are being giving us the importance. So it has been a great journey with them, and that's the reason we chose it. The most critical thing was the customer relationship piece, right? Obviously, the cost also mattered, right? And the technology mattered, but customer relationship was the great thing. And I'm quite happy with it.
It's so funny. We're talking about things like robotic process automation and agentic AI automation, but yet it's the human-to-human interaction.
Human-to-human interaction.
That matters.
The trust, Yeah. The trust factor.
And there's a lesson there, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lesson, right? No matter how fast and how good all the AI gets, we can't forget the humans.
We will never be able to. So somebody was asking me, and I in fact, I was talking to either IDC or Gartner, I forgot, right? One of them today morning. And they were saying, okay, we are going Agentic, right? What will happen to those people? So it's not that, right? There is a path. And I I've gone through this journey, right? Last year, when I came over here, I was talking about a process which we have automated called claims process automations, right? That was a journey. At that time, we had a huge number of people who were sitting in our back office operations doing claims processing manually. We had to start that journey. We started using AI, right, to either approve or deny a claim automatically. And today, I could safely say that, hey, that bad job, we process more than around 20 to 30,000 claims every day, manually, right? Now we are using AI to do that, and automation, along with Automation Anywhere tools, right, to automate that. And we are able to do, we are automating all of them, but our straight-through processing rate that we are not touching, and no human is touching, is around 30% of that. And the accuracy rate of these STP, where nobody autonomously these things are being done, is around 99.9%, much better than what humans were doing earlier. So it's a journey, right? That's what it is. And the new use case, what we are doing right now, it's truly agentic, right? That's what I'll be talking about, right, in some more time.
Absolutely. Rahul, when did, in your mind, sort of the click happened, the eureka, that, hey, we're moving from RPA to agentic PA, right? APA, right? Because clearly here, imagine it's APA.
Yeah, it's APA. Last year it was RPA, and this year it is APA.
When did that click for you?
See, we are in this, right? We are in a era, right, where things are changing so fast.
Yeah.
Every 60, 90 days, you see some new LLM model coming up. I was talking to another partner, and he's saying it's not about large language model. It's large action model now, right? So new words are being coined, right? We were talking about AI, like somebody else, right? And I think Mir itself, he was talking about artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Yeah, AGI.
So think about it. Things are, right, right, last year, AI, things are so drastically changing. If we don't keep pace to that, right, and then it's not about that we'll be left behind, right? The end customer doesn't matter to them whether I use an AI, either I do it using AGI, whether I'm using a RPA or an agentic. For them, the results are important. Till the time the results are being shown correctly, backend doesn't matter how we automate that. But it is critical to ensure that we give, see, for us at Alight, our biggest challenge is, or our most critical period for Alight is every year, whenever the enrollments happens, right? All of you, including you must be doing your annual enrollments every year. But before that annual enrollment window opens for you, Alan, we at Alight had to go and do lot of complex configurations, right, for thousands of clients. And we have to do it in a very short span of time, right? And we need to ensure that whatever configurations we are doing, very specific to your and health and wealth, your organization's health and wealth beings, right? We have to do it correctly across thousands of them. So we have an army of people who's doing this testing is very critical, right? And this testing, automation was there, RPA was there, rule-based was there. It was not possible. It's not that we did not tried automating this testing process, right? But it was never possible using the RPA. The kind of complexities that we have, the kind of variations we have across our customers, across the plants, right? It's humongous, right? And it was not easy to manage an automated testing script, right? But because of this new agentic AI, right, these new large models which are coming up, right? So we are using a large language model for text, right, to create test cases. And we are using another large language model, and it's called the large action model that we call it, right? And we use the Automation Anywhere engine, right, to create an agent A talks to an agent B and try and automating the thing. That's where it is. That's how, it's not that I choose to use agentic, right? It naturally came, just to answer that, right? It naturally came that, hey,
no, that's the promise of agentic, is it's not unnatural. It's not, especially when we're talking about RPA.
Yeah.
It is the natural progression of taking.
To the next.
You mentioned different LLMs. Excuse me. These are LLMs that you created yourselves.
No, these are all out of the box delivered by organizations. We are not leveraging any LLM that we are creating on our own, right? We are, and in all of these.
But these are not it's not OpenAI's LLM or Anthropic or something like that.
They are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Right. So we are using some of these organizations, right? Just from that.
So I think there's a word they're using for these now, not the farm or industrial. So there's a word for those commercial, these big LLMs.
So they are, man. Today itself, I heard a new term, right? AGI. And every time there is a...
Well, AGI is the holy grail.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. You know, when we get to AGI, it's like the singularity, you know. If I'm alive, we'll see what happens. But certainly when it comes to agentic and it comes to these, you know, commercial LLMs like that. But, you know, one of the nice things about agentic AI is you can rely on that, you know, large LLM, large language module, but you could also really tailor more to your specific processes, to your world, if you will.
Yeah, it is, right? And that's where the engine comes into place, right? That's where, see, the Automation Anywhere API engine comes into place, right? That's where the UI agent comes into place, that I don't need to worry about what it is. Till the engine is working correctly, right? Then these models can be applied. So that's how it's all integrated, right? We all have to work together towards that success, right? So there is some portion over here, some portion over here, right? There's a technology, there is a LLMs, right? Where our AI and all those things are working together to make this agentic AI process possible.
Yep. Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind, Rahul. So for most of us, right, we you know, our benefit elections, you know, choice window opens usually towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right, sometime in November, Thanksgiving, and closes by Christmas or 3 months, maybe January.
Yeah.
As we sit here, it's May, right, of 2025. You already got through the 2024 rush, right? How do you think APA is going to help you for the 2025-2026 election season?
So, see, as I said, right, in the end, it's a process. It's the business stakeholders, right, that have to. So these organization business stakeholders, client people, they talk to our customers, like those Fortune 100 companies or all those the 1,000+ customers that we have. They have to go and say, okay, hey, customer A, what is the new, right? What is the new plan? Are you planning to change some benefits that you are providing to your employees, right? We have to gather those requirements. The first cycle starts, right, after they have seen, right, once the enrollment in window ends, it takes a couple of months, right, for an organization, our customer, to figure out, okay, now this is the plan. I think these are the feedbacks they will get from their people. They'll choose, hey, this is a newer plan they will choose. And that plan, whichever they are choosing, they will come and consult with our business teams, right? They says, okay, this is what we need to do. So we get 1,000 different customers, right? We get more than 1,000 different requests beyond. Each customer has multiple requests coming in. And that we now start thinking of configuring into the system. The agentic AI process will help us do the configurations, right? And eventually, we are not there yet, right? But yeah, we will read those requirements, configure it in our system, and then take out what is being shown in our Alight Work-Life platform, right? So to ensure that whatever the client has said is being displayed to them correctly. So that's how the end-to-end process of an agentic AI will work. And there will be multiple agents working over there. An agent which might be configuring it, an agent might be executing it, and an agent which might be validating it. So it's an interesting journey over there.
It's going to be, and this is you bring up another aspect of this whole agentic AI thing, and that is the idea. It's not one agent. There's multiple agents. Some of them are kind of, you know, ephemeral, single use. Some of them will be persistent.
Yep.
One of the things I was talking to the chief product officer at Automation Anywhere. You can watch the video. Audi, yes, about the idea of orchestration of agents.
Yeah.
How mission critical is that to you, to using the multiple agents in your scenario.
So in my testing process itself, right, we have 3 different agents right now, and we are using an orchestrator over there, and that's what I was talking about, right? One agent, right, reads the requirements, it's all in unstructured, right? When the business people or the client teams of ours talk to our customers, right, and take the requirements, just take it, right, and they document in a Word document, they put it in a table. It's all unstructured. So they put the requirement in an unstructured format, right? The first agent generates test cases and reads these unstructured data to say, hey, this is what your test cases or test scenarios for organization A will be, this will be how it will be for B, and this is for C, right? That's how it works. So that's one agent, right? The second agent actually then goes and execute these test cases in our Alight work-life application, right? It does the execution autonomously, right? We have this, and that's where this UI agent that we have, the feature which Automation Anywhere has given us, it's called the UI agent. That UI agent navigates through our enrollment flow for each of our clients and their complex scenarios, right, autonomously, and then gives them the result. That will help us in reducing our testing takes months, right? You ask how it will help us. That testing, that months will be reduced to days because of this Agentic AI and 3 different agents doing that. The third agent will actually validate it, but yeah, that's how it works. And you also asked me that, hey, how your 2025 and 2026? I think, even though I'll say that by next quarter or 2, we will automate 80% of this testing.
80%.
80%. But it's not about technology. My Agentic AI technology is great. It will. It's not about us. It's about the business, right? And our customers. Whether the business will be able to, it's about the mind shift change and the trust that should come in my business teams, business stakeholders, to ensure a decision and an action which this agent is taking is same as they were doing it manually. So even though I will complete 80%, but the adoption might be only 20%. I'll be happy, right, even if they adopt 20 to 30% of that, because it's not easy for them, right? And that trust factor comes over the time. It's a journey.
I think the trust factor is the hardest part of this.
That trust factor will come slowly. And that should happen, right? It shouldn't. The technology is there, but the trust will begin and it will help, right, improvise what the agents are doing slowly. And I think that's the journey that will happen.
Yeah, that to me, that's not a question of the technology. That's just a question of human behavior.
The human behavior.
Right.
How will you just...
How fast do we want to trust this?
Exactly.
That's going to be, and quite frankly, I think that's going to be an interesting piece on the whole AI adoption curve.
Yeah.
We were talking to Micah Smith, who runs the developer community program here. And he was saying, literally in 1 year, AI, specific uses of AI went from like single digits to 65% in 1 year.
Yep.
Because people started to trust it and they started using it. It's the same thing here.
Yeah. I'll add one thing over there, right?
Go ahead.
What I will say is, we are engineers, right? We are automation engineers. But our business stakeholders, they understand this process and complexities of our customers very well, right? If we have 1,000 customers, we have 1,000 different business stakeholders for them and a team supporting that. We have a huge army of people supporting our customers. What we will do is we'll create this engine, this Agentic AI platform of testing to them, and we'll give it to our customers, right? So they can write their own testing prompts. It's an English thing. Tomorrow, I think down the line, the entire surface-based automation that we are doing, it will change, right? It will be a plain English that we'll be doing and things will be happening. So that thing will go from us, from engineers to citizens, back to our business to do those things. It will be a great journey what we can think through that.
Absolutely. Rahul, I want to thank you for coming on. I know you were a little hesitant coming in here, but it sounds like you got comfortable.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure. Okay, thanks.
Rahul Patet from Alight here at Imagine Conference Automation Anywhere in Orlando. We'll be back with more.